Y'all looking like y'all on the wrong side of town. I ain't gonna hold you, I had to take that off. Question. What's the difference between this and this? The answer is none. If you were a black family in the 1900s, 1800s, in the South during Jim Crow, right off rip, I want to tell you, you need soul to understand this film. This movie needs for you to tap in to your heart and understand music and understand pain. The premise of the movie is about two brothers who return back home to Mississippi in the 1930s, looking to uplift their community and start their own black-owned club. But they got it out the mud the way that they could do it. So when they return home, the story begins to reveal that their methods of reaching success might not have been the cleanest. The movie is split into a clear 3 acts. I want to be transparent that the development of these acts have heavily impacted the way that the reviews for the film have come in. The film is unapologetic about making us all aware of the era that we need to step into. This is that era where you got to make sure people ain't looking at you too long or they start asking questions. I want to temper everybody's expectations right off rip. The first third of this movie is not in the trailers. We get to see a wide range of the birth of Black culture. This movie is about music. It's about soul. It's about the blues. It's about understanding how the Black community needed to find freedom through not just spiritual means, but also musical means, and how that transcends space and time and leads us to where we are today. They are very graphic in the film, and they are very true. You see people picking cotton. You see the reliance on spirituality to get you through these dark times. It's everything across the board. Act 1 is about immersion. So go in there, make sure that you're taking it slow and you really digesting the film for what it is. Act 2 is where things really start stepping up. The supernatural elements of the film start to kick in. I love the homage that was given to the Native American community and the enemies that they fought during the early stages of this country. At this stage of the story, the brothers already got the establishment popping. They got food coming over, drinks, people coming over to dance and sing and have a great time. But it isn't long before things start going bump in the night. Our antagonists get introduced and the bigger worries of the cast start to become more real. The veil between the living and the dead get blurred. I like to call Act 3 when hate descends. It's at this point where our antagonists are let loose, and now they start to evolve in their powers and grow their numbers. This is not a movie that was made for the masses to go crazy and it to be an action film where people are jumping off buildings. It was a duel between the living and the dead. But that was just a metaphor for the war that the Black community has continued to fight for eons. You need to understand and put yourself in the shoes of this community and walk this path to see the fight that they are fighting. And ultimately, the biggest weapon in this entire battle was your words.
Hey, Andre. Your words have a lot of power. Hey, the other boys are going to follow your example because you are a leader.
This film is about speaking and understanding the power behind your words. The power that you give people when you grant them your energy or when you grant them your company. The power of persuasion. Yeah, I know how y'all watch movies sometimes, especially horror films, and you're looking and you're like, damn, why the hell would that dumbass open the door or let the demon in or fumble or do something stupid? You'll quickly understand that the evil entities in the film are not just trying to eat you, slash you, destroy you, whatever the case may be. They're trying to get into your mind. They want you to say yes. They want you to say, yo, come over here. It shows the power of the tongue, the power of the pen, the power of the mind, the power of your words. This film is not about fighting demons. It's about fighting your sins. It's about fighting the evil within your soul that can be corrupted in the smallest corners. The cast of the film overall was great. My concern lied on the amount of cast that they had. There were multiple little storylines culminating throughout the development of the film, and I think that kind of took away from the greater message. So you could find yourself at certain points seeing somebody show up missing or something could happen and you'd be like, who the hell is that? There were a lot of elements of the film that just felt like it took away from the greater story at some point. Michael B. Jordan as an actor was phenomenal in both roles. The entirety of the film took place throughout the span of one day. Didn't really do much to differentiate Michael B. Jordan when he played Smoke or Stack, and they navigated that with colors, with Smoke mainly wearing blue and Stack mainly wearing red. Their split of characters made the movie easy to follow and enjoyable, if I'm being quite honest. The soundtrack to the film was great. The comedic relief in the film was superb. The tone, setting, and message was phenomenal. The shortcomings of the film mainly present themselves in the first act, where, although it is intentional, it does introduce too many people at too slow of a pace. And I think that that can disengage a lot of the audience, especially if you're not really expecting it. I personally don't mind that, but I believe that when you have a film of this length, a lot of your messaging has to be clear. Make sure you watch the post-credit scene because it does answer some of those questions that you feel when they happen in the moment. Overall, the film was extremely enjoyable, and it was an experience that you need to immerse yourself in. If you go into this film thinking that it's going to be a hack and slasher, you're going to be disappointed. And also, you need to be prepared for the message. It's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, not just with the visuals, but with the story. They're not pulling any punches in this. This film is about the struggle of the Black community, and they're not shying away from the impact of racism. They're tying that to a much bigger battle. So you need to be prepared when you walk in here that you're going to go learn. And I think that that was beautiful. Hey, that's what this whole channel is about. I want you to learn when you walk into these things and walk away gaining some knowledge about something that's so much bigger than ourselves. Popping the film into the millimeter, I'm going to go and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I thought the film was great. I enjoyed every aspect of it. I believe Ryan Coogler, Jordan Peele, and Michael B. Jordan are taking huge steps to shift the industry to understand the Black perspective. Overall, amazing watch. That's all I got, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I love Michael B. Jordan. Would love to interview him one day. And I'm sure that he and his team put their heart and soul into this film. I gave it a 9 out of 10, but all I know how to do is keep it 100, keep it 1,000, but more importantly, keep it a milli. And I'm going to do that till we get to a milli. Peace.